before. I think he placed 25th at Winter Championship. I don't know if he might have either swapped his name on Smash GG since then, or that was just a completely different player and he didn't enter Winter Championship whatsoever because it's under a different name. But he made it to 25th, so he was like top 32, but you're really not going to be on stream with that, and usually at that point, people aren't really reporting their characters either. So other than what we've seen earlier today, we know next to nothing about Swata.
He is really this mysterious opponent, but he's going to be going up against a very known opponent in Acno, just using a kit that we're not used to seeing from him. And it's very interesting the way that Acno is throwing out these wisps, these down signatures. He'll do it gravity cancelled, not even look for the combo. Gets the weapon toss off the downlight, second weapon toss.
That was cheeky.
That was dirty.
That was so cheeky coming out from Acno. Yeah, when Yumiko first came out, the wisps were somewhat effective because people weren't ready for them. But then, I mean, largely, they were somewhat irrelevant for such a long time, and people just stopped playing Yumiko. Like, the wisps on Hammer, people just learned that they could kind of just walk straight and not get hit by them. They didn't hit a grounded opponent once they were set up.
Yeah, I know people started to realize that they can just kind of respect the range of those wisps, wait them out, or sometimes kind of go underneath them, especially with that hammer. But right now, Acno is starting to pop off, already 2 stocks up on Swata. Nice.
Ooh! Even the taunt coming out. The only other taunt I think we've really seen today was when it seemed like Simple was indicating he was having some lag and Blue ruthlessly, which I agree with, took him out.
Absolutely. You take those. It is tournament. There's so much on the line.
Yeah, there really is. That's exactly what I would have done if I had that option. Especially against a player who is a major threat to you, like Simple is.
Oh my goodness. I love the way that Swata is keeping this pressure on top of Acno. There is some startup to these wisps, and Swata was starting to beat it out because Acno was really relying on him. He's able to get a decent amount of damage right now on the edge guard. Acno's going to back up, go back to the wisp play.
Oh man! Weapon toss into the side signature. The max range of that. Beautiful play from Acno, showing how effective like every single signature in Yumiko's kit is. The wisps used to be kind of, I mean, I'll throw them out because it's going to be tough to punish me. Might as well just throw it out. Of course, people are using the side sig on Hammer very well in the past, and the side sig and the neutral sig very well on Bow in the past, but Acno's using everything really well.
Yeah, it used to be the case that wisps were just a thing that slowed down the pace of the game, right? You would throw it out, and the other person would be like, all right, I'm going to go sit here and wait for the wisp to disappear. Okay, they're gone. Now we can go back to play. Oh, you threw it out? Okay, I'll be back over here. Just give me a second. Now we're seeing Acno be a little bit more proactive with those wisps, really throw them out in pressure situations. He had like a juggle, and he would throw it out just to keep Swata on his toes, something that he has to move around now. It's really interesting to see the way that he's using them.
And I might have my timeline just a little bit off here, but I think one thing that might have led to the wisps not being as effective on launch as they would be now is I think that was still in the time where a weapon toss gave you chase dodge. If it hit. So if they threw out the wisps, you throw your weapon toss, chase dodge through, possibly chain dodge all the way through with iframes, then you get on top of the Yumiko player and go to town.
It's a very real possibility, but either way, that mechanic does not work anymore, and now we are getting into game number 2 as we see Swata swap up the character. Is going to be going over to the Koji pick for game number 2.
He is going to be using the bow against Acno's bow, which was extremely effective. But he's going to be starting out with the sword. Wisps coming out. Ooh, Swata finding some good hits here. Has a very solid lead onto Acno, but the hammer's coming out. Now, one thing Acno was doing really well last game that I think we don't quite talk about as often on hammer weapon tosses is because the range is so big. Obviously, you can hit your opponent in a large area, but you also have a long range to pick up the weapon, as opposed to like Katars. You have to get kind of right on top of them. Even Lance, you getting right on top of it, it has very small range. Left and right, it's long, but right on top of it's very small range because it falls flat, whereas the hammer rotates.
Very good point. Something that helps maintain those pressure situations because you can do like a weapon toss, pick up, attack. We do see Swata with the swap over to Koji able to maintain a much closer position on to Acno.
And there you just saw the punish of Swata just going straight in. Once the Wisps came out, he just went straight in and punished with the side signature. But Acno's hammer play, man, it is insane today.
What? Why? What? All right, Acno, he's trying to style a little bit. That down signature was completely unnecessary. It has a pop-up to it, which he was able to take advantage of, but all that did was put Swata back on the stage, then led to the end-sig for the KO. That was such an odd option when most other players would just go for like a Sair, a Dare, or a ground pound to try to finish off the stock.
Yeah, Acno's flow with hammer is absolutely stellar. So is his flow with his bow, which, I mean, bow, everyone regularly talks about how well moves on bow can flow into one another.
Oh.
What was that option as well? Going down around the corner, fast falling, grabbing the down air, scooping up, changing the direction of motion, then reaching up, grabbing with the recover, or sorry, the going down with the ground pound for the knockout. What an interesting choice from Acno to initiate that with a down air rather than fast falling a little bit further and reaching up with a recovery like your average hammer player, well, your above average hammer player might do. But Acno's hammer is not, it's not your average hammer play.
He is doing such odd things that is definitely throwing Swata off. Of course, Swata is still kind of like that dark horse of the bracket, so maybe isn't used to this level of play. But at the same time, Acno is taking the level of play to a whole other direction than what you would normally see against a hammer player in top 8 of winner's side. It's very different from what we were watching with Blue on the winner's semis just a set ago.
And it's not even like there's one thing that's different, that when his opponent figures out that one thing that's very that's like the foundation of his gameplay, then he's screwed. It's not that whatsoever. It's these little just, oh, he did that, okay, and then there's another situation, oh, he did that, but it's a completely different thing. He's not consistently doing these strange options that are the same every time in every given situation. He'll do normal things, then strange things. Normal things, strange things. One normal move, 8 strange moves. One strange move, 8 normal moves.
It's crazy to see what Acno can do when he puts his mind to a whole new character. And that's what we're seeing from this Yumiko as we get into game number 3. Swata really digging deep, pulling out the Petra now. No carryover to the previous Koji or Hattori.
That's a really low dare. Unfortunately, the weapon toss goes straight down. Still able to find the ground pound. Misses the gravity cancel D-light. Gonna go under the stage, onto the right side. Whoa. Like there. What was that? No one ever does that ever. Even Acno wasn't doing that previously. His strange option before was the down air, but this time it was a gravity cancel downlight?
Dude, I almost think it's just Acno having insane reaction time. Just to recognize the situation and immediately know exactly what he wants to do about it. Able to hit the recovery for the chase dodge. Second recovery for the KO.
He's just going to stand in the middle of the stage, throwing out the wisps, hammer in hand. Oh, the exhausted recovery. Oh, man. It's so wimpy looking. Like, even the blaster's recovery, exhausted recovery, is more, like, intense looking than that. At least you have, like, a lot of lateral movement, but it just looks so wimpy and defeated.
It's one of those ones where you can just hear the character, like, trying to reach as far as they can with their fist.
Like, that's straight up an exhausted recovery. Like, you have no more energy.
Ooh, side sig read attempt. Swata able to read it out, dodge through it, got a nice punish with the side air. This is a pretty even game. Opportunity, nice weapon toss, and Swata takes the lead over Acno.
Petra switch looking good.
And it's predominantly the gauntlets from the Petra, too, for Swata.
which are weapons that aren't necessarily thought of as very important in the meta right now.
Yeah, they're not very highly favored.
I think like Remy's tier list that came out recently, I still don't know if it's serious or not. It seems serious, but like it's Remy, so you kind of never know. But that put Gauntlets, I think, very, very low. Of course, Caspian and a Gauntlet character was one of the lowest characters on the tier list. Not just because of Gauntlets, though.
Either way, Swata using the Gauntlets to great effect. Acno finally finishes off that second stock of Swata. This is a much closer one. Now we're seeing the orb come out from Swata, charges up the death ball. Was able to land it, but unfortunately didn't have Acno over the corner, so it's just going to bounce him off the stage. Still, huge opportunity for Swata. Again, the weapon toss. Acno got the wall touch, but can't get back for a second one.
What a turnaround coming out from Swata after Acno was up 2 games. This Petra pick, man, maybe he should have tried this a little bit earlier. Again, another time I would really love to see character levels. Because it's not even just like he's played other Gauntlet characters or other Orb characters, and then he's swapping over to this Petra where he already has the experience built up, and maybe the Petra's like level 10. Like, he has a lot of work done on this Petra. It's working really well. And just to clarify, Remy did put Gauntlets in the bottom 4 weapons. You can find the rest of that tier list at @NNRemy on Twitter.
Nice gravity cancel stomp coming out from Acno. Able to get a decent punish, but Swata with the dodge down for the end sig. Able to maintain this pressure on top of Acno, getting these hits, swapping weapons. Acno dodges through the side signature.
Who is playing Petra in EU? I see like Heisen playing her in Autumn Champs. And there's one other one on here. Yeah, it was Machete in Summer Champs.
Oh.
So at least on the people who are top 8 today, not a lot of Petra play in EU.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a surprise pick coming out from Swata. Of course, we have not seen a whole lot of Swata in high-level EU play. Acno able to land that Grand Pat for the KO. But still, coming into it, all of us commentators were like, who's Swata? What does he play? I guess, oh, I see a Hattori. I guess he maybe plays kind of Hattori. Oh, Koji, maybe he's a sword player. But pulling out the Petra, bit of a surprise.
And just for the people who are out there like, what? You don't know anything about Swata? You're an idiot. I see him all the time. I know everything about Swata. Of course, we are North American players, so we're not running into Swata in our ranked games.
Nope.
Our visuals coming from the EU side are either like is YouTube content, which I don't think Swata necessarily creates content, streams, and tournament play, which Swata typically doesn't make it far enough in tournament to be on stream. He's not making it into the top 16, into the top 32, into the top 8, so on and so forth.
Yo, but play like this is showing why he earned that spot in the top 8 winner side right now. He's doing such a good job playing against Acno's unorthodox Yumiko, able to get the read with that side signature on the orb as well. He's doing so good at staying on top of Acno.
Oh man, that was so close. Still finds the neutral signature.
Nice side sig, keeps the stock count even, health even.
Good read coming out from Acno, expecting Swata to stay low. He could have gone for the neutral signature as well if he expected Swata to go high.
Ooh, didn't hit the down airs. Gave Acno the opportunity to get that down light combo.
Now Acno just doesn't have the control that he had earlier. Like, you're seeing a lot of wisps coming out, but they're like, I can throw these out. He's not going to be able to punish me here. I'm just going to keep throwing them out, but I don't have full control. He finds the side signature, though. Gravity canceled on the right, moving to the left, back onto the stage. That skin kind of looks like Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, I can kind of see it. Yeah.
And that's going to be Swata falling, but a valiant effort. Definitely a valiant effort coming from him.
Shout outs to the former NXT Women's Champion. But also shout outs to Swata. Did very well for himself, really made Acno sweat a little bit and started to pick apart that unorthodox Yumiko. We are going to see Acno continue on. So in the winners finals will be Acno versus Blue. But before that, we're going to go down to the losers bracket